It has not been easy. I think the Handball Association will have to put, the Greater Accra Handball Association, they need to sit, work on their constitution and put their house in order. The meeting, today's program has been challenging. The lack of understanding has caused us a lot of problems. Now you can see that at the end of the day, most of the executive members have resigned. This shows that they actually have a problem. From my personal view, I think they are bringing personal issues to bear on whatever is happening in handball, and that is not good. You should be fighting for the good of handball and not taking things personally. That is my observation.
Do you think what has happened today will have effects on Greater Accra Handball Association?
I suspect so. Because my understanding is that even the General Secretary is a worker in Tamale. And he's coming to be the General Secretary for handball for Greater Accra region whilst working in Tamale. It's going to be a big challenge. At least they should have gotten somebody who's based in Accra here. The General Secretary is the administrator of everything. If it's in Tamale and something needs to be done, you have to be using Zoom or what? If it's to sign something, what happens? It will be difficult to be running the association in Accra from afar.
So far, your advice for the new executives?
They should think of how to bring the entire handball people together, because it is clear that they are heavily divided. So they have a task of making sure that they bring all handball people on board in order to succeed.
So you won the election, if I am right? Yes, because they stepped down and you are the only person to go in for. What is it that you are bringing on board that will be different from the old administration?
To answer your question, I needed to give you a background of me. It will explain it better. From where I grew up is where handball was developed. So from my childhood, I have been a fan of handball. Those who started handball in Ghana, I saw all of them as a child. And I saw handball grow up and down. So if you care to know where I am coming from, it is not new. I know almost all the players from those who started the game itself up to the current team. I knew when it was successful and it was going down. I observed something. I am a full-time football administrator. I happened to play professional football before. But one thing I observed that is clearly that is not noticed is, you see, in football up to now, the GFA is suffering about that, the coast football. These people rely on the secondary schools handball, but they are not building the grassroots of handball. So it is difficult no matter how you try to let it grow. It will be very difficult because you are not having kids that are interested to play. When we formed cantonment, my vision of coming this far started with forming cantonment. We have the youth. We are the only team who has a youth team that played. They were playing handball, and some white came down. They were shocked that it was here. I work with volunteers, so I have the opportunity to talk to a lot of white people. And all the emphasis is based on how you get the kids interested, not those who have grown. And if you watch football, up to now GFA is under pressure because Coast League is not being played. It is because without Coast League, GFA can never, or football can never be one priority in Ghana. So it's about getting into cantonment. I wanted to be sure whether it can be done, and I experimented by forming our own club. Congratulations to all those management in cantonment. They accepted to my vision, and we did that. And we came out as a solid brand because if you come to the club, you have the youth, and we are well, dressed. We understand branding a club, but the core is the future. And my main thing I am bringing on board, I think they are doing so well. I will not lie, because there were sometimes tournaments were not there. I will really, really congratulate them because they hold down certain tournaments. But my problem is nobody is looking at the interest of the youth, like coast football in football. And to occupy the second sport, biggest sport in Ghana, is to just introduce that, get kids to be interested all over. and then getting competitions for them. So that is my main thing I'm trying to bring on board, the future of handball.
You are a businessman. In handball, you are coming to work with security service personnel. How are you going to blend the two?
That is, and if you heard me, I said my background. I also go back to my background. I was a barracks boy. My father was an officer. All those people you saw here, most of the handball, if I'm not bragging, 50% are my mates in the barracks of Ghana handball. 50%. I'm talking about 50% of all those. Most of the people here are my mates in the barracks. We grew up together. They told me, like, because they know what I'm doing. They know me very, very well. What I can. So they even told me to, why not come and do this for us in handball? And in doing that, I hosted a tournament called the Sulu Cup. It was the biggest tournament in handball for the past 4 years that they've done. I was the one who brought those white people to host it, but I used cantonment. I didn't show my face because mine was, I grew up as a fan of handball. So how I could support, get a club and grow it in that direction. And I hosted only the private teams. These are people I know because I grew up in that community.
Looking at the misunderstanding that's happening here, are you the kind of thinking, are you timid? It's a bigger challenge for you to control them.
As I said, 50% are my mates, are people I know very well. I'm just trying to be honest here. Are people I know very well. And these are people who respected me very well because of the way I brought in. They pushed me to do this because of the way I branded my club, Cantonment. Most of them, even security clubs, started dressing like the way our club dress. Because when you see us, when we appear, you see that it's a solid thing. And they even copied from what I started with Cantonment. So I'm a barracks boy. I know this kind of life is intentional. Some of the things are intentional. When I say I'm a barracks boy, it's deeper. You might not understand it, but I understand what went on here, and we'll find a way to deal with it.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.